Hi, I'm Vicki Dorch, WLKY-TV. It's great to be here with you, kicking off the first Opal's Dream Foundation virtual gala. I'm disappointed we couldn't get together in person this year and celebrate this magnificent organization and its founders, Jerry and Janet Stith, who work so hard to help our senior citizens in nursing homes across the area. I became involved with Opal's Dream Foundation in 2016 when I met Jerry, who was a recipient of the WLKY Bell Award. I was touched by his passion and commitment to the seniors in our community, and since that time, I've attended Opal's annual gala and helped to kick off their live auction each year. And I'm honored to be a member of the advisory board. This year has been challenging for all of us, and it's been especially difficult on those living in nursing homes. COVID-19 has changed how we live, learn, work, and communicate, but in many ways, it's made us stronger and more generous. We've all seen the need in our elderly population, and so many people want to help. So I hope you will once again consider opening your hearts and generously bid on the exciting live auction items that we've put together. This is a wonderful charity that does some amazing work in our community. So please help us to continue our mission of restoring dignity, respect, and joy to those living in long-term care nursing homes. Thank you for your support.
Who is Opal and how did this organization start?
Well, Opal's Dream Foundation started with the lady's name was Opal Grubbs. Opal lived for 44 years of her life in a nursing home in Louisville. She died in 2011. And the thing with Opal is that she had a wish, and her wish didn't come true. Her wish was to see the ocean. And when we found out about this, our organization started, and our goal was to never let something like that happen that we could do something about.
What was your initial vision of Opal's Dream Foundation, and has that vision changed over the years?
My initial vision was to have a small board, raise some money, try to take care of some men and women in these long-term care nursing homes, and maybe help out 5, 6, 10 people. The thing has grown, our charity has grown so dramatically in the last 10 years that right now we're at almost 100 nursing homes. So when you start out with 3 in 2012 and you're almost 100 right now, you can see what their growth is. And their growth was driven because of need. And there's this great need now, and there'll be a great need in the future.
What would you consider the highlight of your time as Opal's founder and chairman?
Well, over the years, there would be many things, many different types of wishes and dreams that we've done. But the one thing I think that affects more people than anything we've ever done is our Christmas program. We make sure that every man and woman in these long-term care nursing homes have Christmas every year. And there's times where we are the only ones who will be giving them any Christmas presents. And it's special to me because the very first time that I went into the nursing homes in 2010 actually, was because they had some presents that had disappeared. So my involvement was at Christmas where Opal lived, and we helped them make that Christmas come true, this friend of mine and I. From then on, the Christmas has just gotten bigger and bigger, and I've gotten to know more and more about these homes, and again, about their needs.
Pete, how did you come to get involved with Opal's?
Well, that's a funny story. So Jerry and I have known each other a long time. We've been, Jerry's a customer of mine through the company that I work for, and I've probably known Jerry for almost 30 years. Yes. And about 8 or 9 years ago, in my capacity at my job, Jerry reached out and asked if I would attend a small gathering of folks for a fundraiser for this new charity that he was forming called Opal's Dream Foundation. So it was just down the street from my house, so I walked down and met Jerry and his wife and folks there. And I brought my wife with me, and as it turns out, my wife and his my wife's mother and his mother were longtime friends, and so when I went to introduce Jerry to my wife, it was like a family reunion. I quickly learned what Opal's was, and I just asked Jerry, how can I help? How can I be involved? And I joined the board right away, and it's been a blessing for me these last 8 years.
Looking back over your involvement to date with Opals, do you have a favorite dream you've granted?
Oh gosh, as Jerry mentioned, there's so many great wishes and dreams that we've granted, but two that come to mind and really hit me in the heart. One was a gentleman in Lexington. He had been a school teacher and had relocated to a home in Lexington unexpectedly, really. And he had this home, many people don't realize that in the residence rooms, what they have is really what they bring. And so this gentleman had all of his belongings in boxes because that's what he had. And so the home reached out and asked if we could provide a set of dresser drawers for him. And so my wife and I, we ordered a set of dresser drawers, and it was one of those inexpensive sets that you have to put together. So I spent some time putting it together and drove it down there, and we delivered it. And this is where it really comes like a God thing, because we delivered it on his birthday, and I didn't know it was his birthday. And he was so surprised by that. It was just a great thing. And then the other one for me, as a big University of Louisville fan, I had a wish from a resident of a nursing home to attend a University of Louisville basketball game. And we were able to make that wish come true, and I took that resident myself to the basketball game. And he just had tears of joy, and he looked at me and he said this was the best day of his life. And, things like that, just, you never forget them.
As chairman-elect, what is your vision for the future of Opal's Dream Foundation?
Well, Jerry's done a phenomenal job as chairman, and it's a daunting task to take over. I certainly don't plan on making any major changes. We have a good thing going. The only thing that I would see is that we continue to grow. We're going to have growing pains. We're going to have to figure out how to assist homes in a broader and broader spectrum of our community. As Jerry mentioned, we're already at close to 100 homes. At the growth pace we are on, with the board we have now, it'll be more and more difficult for our board alone to be able to support that. So we're going to need the help of communities. We're going to need the help of volunteers. We're going to have to set up a network of distribution to really help establish dreams and wishes throughout the Commonwealth and throughout Indiana. Who knows, one day this could become a regional or even a national charity. But before we can do that, we have to set the groundwork. And that's really what I'm focused on in the future.
Hi, I'm Paul Thompson, Chief Operating Officer of Opal's Dream Foundation. As many of you know, this has been a difficult year for seniors in long-term care. Nationwide, nursing homes account for over 40% of all COVID-19 deaths, and residents at the nearly 100 facilities we serve have endured months-long lockdowns, bringing extended confinement, social isolation, and an overall reduction in quality of life. This has made our work more important and more urgent than ever, and we have worked tirelessly since the onset of this crisis to make daily life more bearable and more enjoyable for those we serve. While our focus has always been the restoration of dignity, respect, and joy to seniors in long-term care, this year has also placed pandemic safety among our highest priorities. The situation we faced earlier this year was simply too serious to delay action. So long before any mandate, we took the steps necessary to protect these vulnerable communities. We quickly suspended our in-person ministry, canceled live entertainment events, provided PPE to our staff and volunteers, and limited direct contact with these facilities, all part of our concerted effort to eliminate potential transmission of the virus. Despite the restrictions imposed by the pandemic, I'm pleased to report that with your generous support, we have risen to meet the challenges head-on. In fact, this year, Opal's has delivered more aid and impacted more seniors than in any previous period, providing over 5 tons of snacks, personal protective equipment, and activity supplies to facilities all across Kentucky and Indiana at the height of the outbreak, when locating PPE was no easy task. We distributed tablet computers to nearly 24 facilities, allowing seniors to stay in contact with friends and family, and thanks to our dedicated board and our community partners, our life-changing mobility assistance program also grew by leaps and bounds, providing independence and improved quality of life to seniors with substantial disabilities. In fact, we have done so much this year that I can't recount it all here. So please, connect with us on Facebook and visit our website at opalsdreamfoundation.org if you'd like to learn more. And remember, all of this important work requires funding from grants, events, our great auction items, and most importantly, supporters like you. I simply ask that you take a moment to engage with us and consider donating so we can keep saying yes to every qualifying request. I'm so proud of what we've accomplished together and so grateful for your support. On behalf of every member of Team Opals, thank you and God bless you.
You know, I never knew Opal. I wish I had, but honestly, if I had met her, I'm not sure I'd have had the vision that Jerry and the original founders had to start this great foundation. I'm proud to have been a part of this great team for 8 years. To say 2020 has been challenging is to put it mildly. All of us have been impacted by this virus in some form or fashion. I would venture to guess that no group has been more impacted than those in our long-term care facilities. Residents and staff in these homes have suffered months of isolation, fear, sickness, and loss. And Opals has tried to be a shining light, to give our best, given the restrictions on contact and support, to still bring joy to nearly 100 homes. We've provided games and snacks. We've tried to keep staff and residents entertained. We've provided upgraded televisions and flowers. We've provided Mother's Day gifts for residents of a home. We've even answered the dream to improve mobility in electric wheelchairs during these tough times. And finally, on 4th of July, when a home was finally allowed to let their residents come out of their rooms, we provided a grill and food so they could have a 4th of July celebration. All these dreams and wishes take money. Money, honestly, which has been slow to come during this pandemic. That's why I'm asking for you today. I'm asking that you consider opening your heart and opening your wallet and making an online donation to Opal's Dream Foundation. There is a main reason we're having this virtual event. The main reason is the main thing, and that is to raise money. I'm thanking you in advance because I know that there are some generous people who have supported us in the past and who are watching this today. Your generosity will directly impact how many dreams we can fulfill. I'm challenging our most ardent supporters to be bold. In the past, we've had many generous supporters who've made in-person donations of $1,000 or more. I'm asking for that again today. Who amongst you is willing to be bold and donate enough money to buy a power wheelchair or a jukebox for a home? Anyone willing to donate $1,000 or more for this fundraiser will not only be helping us grant wishes and dreams, but I pledge a personal phone call and we'll put your name on our website as a thank you. Maybe $1,000 isn't something you can afford. I certainly understand that in these times. $500 could fund a dream of new dentures or maybe a popcorn machine for the entire home to enjoy. $250 is enough for a group of residents to have a catered meal, or maybe take a resident to see their favorite sporting event. $100 can buy a television for a room or provide an entire home with Christmas gifts. My point is, whatever you can afford is appreciated. We certainly don't take your generosity for granted. As we approach the holidays, we know we'll need at least $30,000 to fund our Christmas gift program. Recently, Opals has been in the position we are rarely in, and that is questioning whether we can afford to grant a dream or a wish, simply because the funds haven't been there. With the generous support of our friends, I hope that question will always be yes. Thank you in advance, and God bless.